The front dome light on my 1979 Mercedes stopped working the other day, and it's really frustrating. You know, you get out of the car in the dark and you can't see anything, and you try to flip the switch over to the full-on position, it doesn't work either. So with both doors open, it's not working. When I switch it over to the other position for on all the time, it's not working. So what am I going to do? Should I start buying parts? The reason I want to show you this right here is this is a really good example of how to troubleshoot any problem on your car. This is simple. This is a beginner job, but it shows the sequence of troubleshooting. You go from the simple things to the more expensive and more complicated things. So we're going to check the simple things first. There are 5 things that could go wrong that would make this light not work. What do you think number 1 is? Number 1 in any electrical problem is go check the fuses. Now I went right out there, opened the hood, and I pulled the cover off. You can see I'm looking at the chart, and it shows that number 1 fuse controls the dome lights as well as a few other things. So that fuse is fine. I can come back inside here now, and what do you think the second thing is going to be? Let's open this up, because the second thing is to determine if the bulb is burned out. Most of these early dome lights just come out by prying down one side. You'll see a little indentation in the side opposite the switch. We just get a little pry tool and just gently pry it down, and then we can pull it out. Now I'm holding this bulb in the light here, and it looks okay. The filament is not burned out. Does that mean the bulb is okay? Well, not necessarily so. Don't assume anything when you're troubleshooting electrical problems. So I'm going to take the new bulb that I have and put it in. Look at that, it works. Problem solved, right? This is the full-on position. Let's check it in the automatic door opening position. Oh, it doesn't work. So it works in the full-on position, but doesn't work in the door opening position. Oh, man. So what does that mean? That means that we could have a bad switch right here. But don't run out and buy a new switch until you've checked something else. Now let me show you what that is. The next part in my list is to check these door switches. Now notice this is a plastic switch. You close the door, it pushes the pin in, you open the door, and the pin comes out. It's supposed to make contact inside that switch, and if it's not making contact, you're not going to get power to the bulb. A lot of times you can take this and you can kind of wiggle it like this. Wiggle it up and down, push it in and out, and get the light to flicker. If that's the case, then you know it's a switch, but here I'm getting nothing. So I'm down to 2 things. I'm down to either this switch being bad, or I'm down to the switch for the light holder. There's a problem with that. Let's try troubleshooting the switch quickly. You could get an ohm meter, you could get your meters out and do some testing, but here's a real quick way to do this. Just pull the switch out. These are just plugged into the door frame. You pull it out, there's your ground wire, and there's your hot wire. And if I look at this switch, I can see corrosion on the contacts. So I bet you this has gotten moisture in it over time, and it's just not making contact internally. All I have to do now is take these 2 and touch them. Listen to that. The door buzzer works, and the dome light works. So all I have to do now is replace this switch. I've got some good used ones in my used part stock, but these are also not very expensive, new. I replace the switch. I'll probably replace the right side too, because if you find that one is corroded, the others could be as corroded as well. If this did not work, if I push this together and the light still did not come on, then I most likely have a problem with the light switch. You could have a wiring problem, so don't assume anything, but at that point, you're probably going to have to do a little more testing to see if you're getting power up to the light switch. If you're getting power up to the light switch, when you touch these 2, let's say your light's not working and you're getting power to the switch, then you know you just need to buy a new light switch. If you touch these together and use a voltmeter and you're not getting any power at all to the light plug up there, then you've got a wiring problem, and that's when your electrical troubleshooting gets really fun. So there you have it. Simple troubleshooting on a simple electrical problem.